Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Ocean Jones, aka Ocean the Inspirer,
I'm Nate Musey.
and this is the Seed to Success podcast where we seek to inform, empower, and inspire. And we have a very special guest today.
Very, very special guest, Mr. Brandon Maye, a motivational speaker, author, serial entrepreneur, and legacy builder. Was an All-American football linebacker at Clemson University.
Wow.
First-time academic All-ACC in 2008 and 2009, and established a single-season record for the most caused fumbles in 2009. After getting his bachelor's in sociology and going on to Mississippi State to get his master's in, what was that? It's an interesting field.
Human resources.
Human resources. Would you mind telling us what it was like through that experience and going on into that? Did it have anything to, or would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more than that?
No, man, you did a perfect job. First
Good.
off, thank you guys for the platform.
Sweet.
Thank you for the opportunity
Glad
to be
you're
here
here.
today.
Thank you for being here.
Hopefully we say some words that are a blessing to someone.
Right.
That's the ultimate goal always. I hear all the success, but I like the seed part.
Right,
I like
right.
the seed part, the beginning. And coming up from a humble beginning, 2-bedroom home, 15 people.
Right,
A
wow.
family full of high school dropouts, more high school dropouts than it is graduates. But we was able to turn the curve. Now we got more graduates than we got dropouts. So,
Right.
that's the beauty of it, man. Taking something that's small and continuing to water it, fertilize it like that seed, and then it grows into something successful. So I hear all the good, man, but I love just talking about the other side and putting it all together.
Right,
Yes, sir.
fantastic. So since we're going to get on the seed, that's a good place to start. Can we get a little bit of your upbringing? What was it like coming up in Mobile or anything like that?
Yeah, so I grew up in Pritchard. Like I said, 2-bedroom home, 15 people. My mom just worked extremely hard. My grandma worked hard, and then my dad got killed when I was younger. So I was 2 years old. My dad got killed.
That's unfortunate. I'm
So
sorry.
it kind of left my mom to raise me solo.
Right.
And then she was blessed, to at 4 years old, when I was 4 years old, to meet her husband. And eventually they had 3 more kids. So I got 3 younger sisters.
Nice.
So I had to
All
become
girls, huh?
instantly, all girls. I had to become big bro.
Bro,
you know, so-
man. Now you're not just a protector. Now you
for sure.
Yeah,
So just growing up in that area, man, it taught me so much, and having him alongside with me, the discipline that he brought with being a military guy,
Right.
that kind of took my life to the next level. So despite all the things that was going on in the community, he kept me focused in on the main thing, and
Right.
how to keep the main thing, and we had a goal. We was going to use football. We weren't going to let football use us.
Right.
So we was going to pimp the game of football. It was my escape from what was going on, and we was going to become successful in life.
Right.
So that was the goal, and I think we've done a pretty good job. And I say we because it's always been a team effort. It's always
Absolutely.
been me and my family
Right.
and God. You know what I'm saying? He's the center of it all.
Right.
And we just continue to push, keep showing up every day. And so it's starting to show here now at 35 years old,
Yeah.
the success from the seed.
Right.
you
Blessings
know?
from the top down.
And
Can't
you had
forget
a really
God.
successful run in football.
Yeah.
I mean, linebacker at Clemson, that's a big deal,
Yes, sir.
Especially coming out of Mobile and just taking
Yeah.
it to that level, we really do love to hear something like that. And especially, and then you came out with the bachelor's and went on to get your master's as well. You were showing that you were dedicated, and that's the type of seed to a mindset of where it doesn't even matter if you use your degree or anything like that. Because I'm not even sure if you probably used it, and you probably found
No.
success outside of that.
Yeah.
Because it was just by that
love
time your
that.
mindset was like, man, I can do whatever I want to do. Honestly, if I believe in myself, which what makes me want to bring up in self-promotion. How do you feel about that, right?
So when you say self-promotion, can you elaborate a little bit on it?
So, just in overall, just in believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it, and just being able to be.
For sure.
Sometimes you got to have your own back and not be scared to go out there and promote yourself, put yourself out there, and don't be scared of what people are going to say, even if you fail or don't follow through on exactly what you needed to do or some big goal that you have for yourself. At least you tried, at least you came
Right.
through, and still have the ability to. As a motivational speaker, if you could what would it take to motivate somebody else to get up and try to do what you do and talk about how they had shortcomings and all that? Because it seems like it'd be really difficult to do what you do.
Right.
Being
Yeah.
in-
So this was embedded in me. A lot of people talk about things that they read in the book, like this is my core. This is my
Yeah.
DNA. I'm
Right.
a grinder. I'm a hustler.
Right.
I feel like every time I step into whatever arena that is, like I'm the best thing smoking in that arena. And
Yeah.
the reason being is because I was a 2-star recruit.
Right.
I was a guy that they didn't give an opportunity. The coaches passed on. They didn't see the worth and value in what I brought to the table. And so I made them believe.
Right.
I made them believe in what I bring to the table. And having that 2-star mindset is the same mindset that I'm using right now in business, the same mindset I'm using in my team. I've got that integrated inside of me. So the self-belief, it was just something that, I was just born with, man.
Right.
Just being able to take a seed, that word seed, man.
Yeah, man.
That's big.
Yeah.
Being able to take a seed and grow that seed.
That's what it's all about.
Everything I've done been to start up.
Right.
I remember days when I started this entrepreneurship journey. It kind of was. I'm kind of moving ahead on the podcast, but it was kind of one of those situations where my back was against the wall.
Right.
I had played the game of football at a high level, had great success. I could have entered the draft. I was like one of the top NFL recruits at the time as a junior. I decided to transfer. Got to Mississippi State. Had a career-ending injury and really had to kind of like navigate my way up out of that thing.
Right.
I finished the whole year on one leg. Throughout that season, I tore my pectoral muscle.
Damn.
And then I ended up doing something to my elbow. But I made a commitment. I'm big on commitment. Once you commit to something, you finish it.
Right.
Long after the feelings and emotions has left.
Right.
You make the commitment, you finish it. That's how you built.
Yeah.
And really, I was just built like that, man, to finish the journey. And then after that, got picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
They told me that my career was over. Had a 10-hour surgery. And, dude, I just remember the beginning of that. It was like the whole world had caved down on me. I went from everybody screaming Brandon Maye, everybody asking for tickets to go to the game, to a lot of people turning their back on me. You start to see who people really are.
Yes, sir.
And that's when I got busy. I really got busy. I went against the grain. Even though I had the master's degree, I wanted to plant seeds, and I wanted to watch them grow. So I remember sitting in the room, a dark room, gloomy, I'm good with descriptions, and I just made a decision, hey, look, we're not going to work for anybody. We're going to take whatever gift you have, because your gift make room for you. I'm a firm believer that the gift is going to make room for you. And I wrote my first book, and I just was letting all the pain, all the hurt that I was going through at that time, just let it out in the book. And I remember it was nights, lonely nights, where I really wanted to give up on life. I had a failed suicidal attempt, and I just wanted to give up. I wanted to throw in the towel. And I just found a way, man. Every day, I would say, if I write this page, and if I make it to the next day, I can write the next page. And I kept writing until I became a published author. And when I started the entrepreneurship journey, man, I took my mom beat-up Yukon truck. Yep. None of the windows let down. It was in the middle of the summer. Yeah. And people was like, man, bro done lost his mind. He about to take the truck and do what?
Right.
I took the truck, dude, and I put a vacuum cleaner in the inside of it. And I took the truck and I said I was just going to go to people's house and I was going to detail their cars. Right. And it's like, bro, you don't know about Bebo's and Riches here? I was like, you don't know about Brandon Maye?
Hey.
Like, I'm about to take the truck and I'm about to do something with it.
Right.
And that's what I did. I started building up a clientele. It was hot. It was dark days. Right. It was days I wanted to give up. It was days where I went into the school system and multiple times I was told no. And then eventually I got a yes, so I started detailing teachers'
That's all
cars.
It takes, man. One yes in a world of no's.
I'm out there by myself, detailing cars, just building up that belief system, teaching myself rejection, just teaching myself how to make something happen.
And this is after the NFL.
Yeah, this is
after the injury.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I just kind of.
No, you're good.
You're good.
So you're thinking, okay, I'm about to be this NFL football player. You get an injury, and then you're like, well, hey, and so it is also very interesting to me. You didn't use your degree.
Yeah.
You said, hey, I'm gonna go this other way. So what kind of was it just money? Was it just like, I think I can make more money if I detail cars? Was it just like, that's going to give me more opportunity? What was kind of your thinking during that process and how you evolved to doing that? Because, I'm sure people were saying, okay, well, why wouldn't you use the master's degree? Because you're well educated, so.
Yeah. I was well educated and I am well educated and I had the resources, the top two things to be successful, right?
Correct.
And what I wanted to do was I wanted to build from scratch because I knew if I built from scratch then I could have something that other people can't have. A lot of people like to take the quick journey. Right. I could have took the master's degree, called back up to Coach Sweeney and had him, set me up to be a coach and all those things. Yeah. But I had this vision that I wanted to be this big time entrepreneur. I wanted to have people that I'm building something with special. And I just wanted to go against the grain. I'm built to go against the grain. My whole life been about going against the grain, going against the norm. This is not traditional. I didn't take the traditional route. What I learned in that journey is you can either drive on the same road as all these people or you can travel the road that's got darkness, that's got gloomy stuff. And at the end of that road, as you go forth in life, there'll be different checkpoints of success.
Right.
When you hit those checkpoints of success, you'll hit a certain type of money. You'll hit certain type of relationship. It'll continue to catapult you.
Right.
Those same type of checkpoints are not on the road that most people travel.
Right.
It's on the road that least people travel, right?
Yes, sir.
So I just made that decision, man. Go right, go left. Hey, what right look like? Right look like it's a lot of people. That sounds cool. All right, you'll make $100K a year, or you can go left, and then one day If you make it through this and you hit all the checkpoints, the relationships will come. The opportunity will come, the money will come, you know, and so I just chose to go left.
Right.
I wanted to go left.
And now, I from what we've researched, you do a lot of real estate. You're flipping houses and you're flipping real estate and stuff now. So you went like this and then you went.
Yeah.
So how did that? How did you go from, you know, detailing car, and you did some pressure washing too.
Yeah.
Like, so you went from that to, how did you get to where you're flipping multiple houses at a time?
If I may, before he was the founder of Maye's Power Washing. If I would imagine, it was like you started with that. But before, I guess you said the car detailing.
So detailing, and then
it just right. So you trailblazed just through a bunch of different paths until you found exactly what you needed to do. Did the? I guess what we're trying to get to is like, was any of your previous endeavors, was it the money that did you need some of that money to get to the level?
Was it a stepping stone to get to the real estate?
Yeah. So, as I said about the road least traveled, there are going to be checkpoints. You know, I got a personal relationship with Christ,
right?
And so when I was hearing that, and I decided to make this decision, I had to make a commitment next, right? And once I made that commitment, I wasn't gonna let nothing stop me. All right. And I knew that if I hit these different checkpoints along the journey, the resources and the relationships will come, plus the finances will come to get to the next checkpoint. So I basically played a game with myself.
Yes, sir.
And I betted on myself. I went into the casino and said, hey, look, I'm gonna put everything on the table and roll the dice. They was like, bro, you gonna crap out. Nah, it's cool. I'm used to this. I wanna bet against myself. So I rolled the dice,
right.
And now we having success. So that journey started with car detailing, and I knew if I can dominate car detailing, well, let's back up a little bit. It actually started before that. The number one thing I had to teach myself after playing college football and having it really, really good, where I can go to the store, go to the Waffle House, they're gonna give me my food.
Right.
They're gonna take care of me, right? I had to teach myself rejection.
Right.
That's the number one thing. You got to learn rejection. You got to learn to hear
Handle
no before you hear yes.
Yeah, we've been there.
So with like a 350 credit score, I went into the bank.
Damn.
And they was like, bro, what you doing, bro? You lost your mind. You going into the bank to do what? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm going into the bank. You know, I got a 350 credit score. I know I'm not going to get approved, but I need to teach myself how to be rejected.
Right.
What's the best way to be rejected? Be rejected by the people who got the money, right? So I went up into the bank, and multiple times I would just file for a loan, and they was like, bro, you know you can't get this loan. You know it's going to take a hit against your credit. I said, okay, that's cool in 2013, but this is going to help me out in 2024, 2025. I was big on the long-term success. Like, I'm not worrying about now. So I went in there, one after another. I got rejected.
Right.
I was like, ooh, I'm starting to love to hear no.
Around what year was this?
It was 2012, 2013.
Wow, that's a lot.
You know why this is so interesting to me? I feel that the part you're talking about right now about the loans and about like how to get into it is the part a lot of people keep real close to the chest. A lot of people don't really talk about this part, and I don't know why, but in my experience, like I've tried to get this type of information out of so many people, and it seems that it's the part that it's almost like for some reason people just don't want to be open about it.
Yeah.
So I just want to applaud you for talking about it and for
it's scary being financially rejected.
Right,
you know, going in there and just putting your heart on your sleeve and being like, am I in a position to where I could, you know, better myself? And that person looks at you and be like, actually you're not. And we feel bad for you, we're sorry, but you got to come back, you got to go out there, you got to grind, you know. And as a serial hustler as you are, I guess you had God on your back. He was like, let's go.
So did you get the credit score up? Like what made the yes happen?
So I got the shirt on, man. The shirt say don't let Facebook or Instagram or anything else. It say don't let social media fool you.
I was going to ask you about that.
I like to talk about the real. Don't just tell me about the jewelry you got on. Don't tell me about the followers you bought. Don't tell me about the Maserati. Don't tell me about none of that. Tell me about the bottom.
Right.
Because there's more people eating the Roman noodles than filet mignon.
Right.
So you got to keep it real with the people if you're really going to be connecting and helping people take their life to the next level. See, I didn't do it for me. I did it for everybody else that's coming behind me.
Right.
I did it for the young kid that's about to get ready to make a bad move, a drug move, because he feel that fast money is going to get him in the right position. No, I did it to be able to come back and say, hey, I got a master's degree, young man, so you don't have to drop out. You can go this route. And what I was going to do is I was going to use the educational side just to create the platform to give me the credibility, so now I can raise capital.
Right.
So now I can raise $5 million overnight, 24 hours. We ain't got to talk about it. It ain't no flex. This is real talk now.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it was a game plan, you know, and I haven't completed the plan. I'm just in the process of taking that next step now.
Right.
It's all had checkpoints.
So through Maze Inspirations LLC. Is that right?
I don't even think I answered your question.
Oh,
I'm
you're good. You're good. You're good. We're on a lot of different
Yeah,
topics. at once.
it's one of those things.
I'm so hyped, man.
It's just open conversation, man. Yeah, because there's no rules to it. We just kind of like.
Yeah, we just yeah.
Did you through that through Maze Inspirations LLC? Did you build a lot of connections to be able? Is that where you first started seeing like, hey man, I'm really getting like? Did you realize like it's not really so much about like what I know, it's who I know, or was it a little bit of both? Was it like now that I have this knowledge and know these people, now I can take it to a level where I could get 5 million, 6, whatever, something like that?
Yeah, so I basically got multiple companies. One of them is Maye Enterprises. It's the overseer of everything.
Okay.
And then Inspirations, which you're seeing, is more of the book and the motivational speaking. And we kind of put that out for a second. Well, I wrote book number 2. I wrote book number 2 here recently.
What's the name of the book?
The first book is Diamond in the Rough.
Diamond in the Rough.
But
Okay.
I wrote book number 2 here recently. It's the next phase, and it's more of a training leadership phase. That's going to get me into the corporation so I can start teaching people how to get their team to perform at a high level. So it's like the next phase for me. So I wrote it and kept it on the shelf, and in due time we'll end up putting it out. But it's a journey, bro.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Let me ask you a little off the wall question: is LLC or S corp?
S corp.
Yes.
So Maye Enterprises is S corp. We had to hit a certain dollar amount. My CPA and my financial team, they kind of helped me out with all this stuff.
Right, yeah.
But we had to
it's a
hit
team,
certain
like
number.
you said. It's like a
Yeah.
team, man. Every time you
trying to
say
follow
anything,
your
I always
footsteps on
imagine.
that.
All I can see behind you is God and a team that's just really.
When they sliced my tax in half, I was like, all right, bet. Like
Right.
LLC, you make $100K, they may be taxing you crazy, right?
Right.
But when we filed for the S corp, it was one of those situations where we was able to get the tax lowered. So
Right.
Yeah.
CPA told me everything. He explained it to me. I really, really rely on my team. My team do a good job. We have a good long-term plan.
Right.
And the plan that we got in place is not only to live right now and be financial free right now, but later on, in the future.
Right.
To make sure that when I hang up the cleats again, that money just coming in.
A legacy builder.
So let me ask you,
because
because we've been
building
kind of,
legacy.
I'm just going to go off into this S corp tangent for just a slight second, because so we've been looking into S corp, and we've been actually planning on changing some of our stuff that same way to having an S corp kind of oversee everything else.
Pivoting.
And so I got kind of a technical question. Maybe you can help me with. I'm trying to figure out. So if I file, like let's say I file as an S corp. Let's go with that $100,000 number you just threw out there. Let's say if we got $100,000 in gross income, I'm just going to keep it real simple. $100,000 in gross income. We got a lot more than that, by the way. But if that happens, I just had to throw that out there.
just want to plug that in. Y'all know we ain't heard that.
That's to empower.
That's yes. Okay. So, so like let's say if we filed $100,000 gross income, and then let's say, because I know it's like it's like a pass-through entity. So the personal income, because you got to have some personal income, right? Or do you just not file any income?
No, it all flows into the personal.
Yeah. And so let me
And
ask
you
this,
pay yourself a salary.
Yeah, you pay yourself a
because I
salary.
want to say the rate for LLC is like 28%.
It's something crazy. You probably know more than me. I'm gonna be honest, because I
You say
rely on my,
CPAs. Because
yeah.
that's what we do the same too. It's one of those things. It's just kind of like one of those personal, like so like my girlfriend, her dad owns a massage business.
Okay.
And I had asked him the other day, just because I was curious, because we've done a lot of research and all that, and we've talked to experts, but we're just seeing like when does it make sense?
Well, because I've read like personal income, it's like a lower percentage, but I'm trying to figure out how much lower. Like I'm trying to figure out like what exactly it is, because
But you definitely saw a significant difference.
Yeah,
when-
I saw a decrease in my tax that I was paying out.
Right.
Like I said, I rely heavy on the financial team on that side.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
My job is to make the money, and then they're gonna set me
Help
up in
you
a good
keep it.
position.
I'm a big preacher of building a solid team
Nice.
behind you. I mean, I know that there are great men that can accomplish and win battles that lesser men said was impossible.
well, I love that because
I
it's
know
like
that.
it's like you're using your strength and
Yeah.
you're letting somebody else use their strength,
Right.
and it's a real team in that sense.
Yeah, I wasn't on that back in the day. Everything I built to this point has been individual. You know, it's been Brandon Maye is going to do
Yeah.
it. Brandon Maye and I had to just release and say, hey, look, we can go to this point with just Brandon Maye, or we can go here with this team.
Right.
And so when you start integrating the right people, what you discover is just as it said in the word, your gift is going to make room for you.
Right.
Just as Brandon Maye got a gift, they got a gift, and I need that gift because that gift's going to get us where we need to be at.
All of us can
So
help.
yeah,
All
we're
of us
looking
can
we're
do
looking
that.
to be like $100 million, $200 million company, starting from scratch. You know, I was just a seed guy. I just decided I was going to go out there in the land, find the right soil that I can fertilize this thing, water this thing over and over and over, and get it sprouting up a little bit, and then I put that team on there. They can get it going, you know. So
at what point in time did you realize that like you were really onto something? Like you was like, you started to see a return on like, I don't know. Do you get it from? I mean, so with the motivational speaking thing, is that like a for-profit type thing? Do you?
So
get
the
paid
motivational speaking is a whole nother level. Once we really get that going, you're talking a whole nother tax bracket.
That's what I'm saying.
Just with the skill set that we're going to be bringing in. We started off just on some motivational stuff. Everybody can be a motivational speaker. But when you specialize in something, it kind of separates you. So then we built the leadership book. Got that together. And now it's about taking that and using that to, you know, kind of John Maxwell. You know, we want to play on that level. We don't want to just be E.T.
I love
we don't
John
want to just be Inky Johnson just speaking, which they have great messages, right? We want to be the guy that specializes in something. So when this company come in, their leadership team is getting better because this book, this program, all this stuff is centered around leadership, you know? So we want to get a real game.
I'm so glad that you didn't, you know, just throw in the towel when the athletic career ended. And I'm so glad you had the kind of, you were able to have your head above water in order to pivot and say, okay, well, now we're going to go this way, you know? Because a lot of people just give up, you know, or they might, you know, go work the corporate job and just hate their life and not actually pursue more, like you're saying, you know, and so it's
the risky, dangerous ride. That's what I wanted, the risky, dangerous ride. If I wasn't going to sleep and afraid of the dream, then it wasn't big enough. You know, you asked me at what point did I know it was probably last year or the year before, I took an $85,000 loss on one deal. And I was like,
it's a loss that hits.
Now we own to something. Because most people that hit this loss, they gonna be ready to jump off the bridge. You know, we already been there.
That's
so
how we
we're
are.
ahead. You know what I'm saying? So this loss don't really mean loss. It's mean L, and L mean learn. I'm gonna learn from it, and in 2027, 2028 is gonna be a testimony. And because it's 85K loss, I'm gonna make $1 million off the 85K loss.
Well, your mindset, your philosophy, kind of overall is killer. I get that vibe off you big time. Like you definitely like a motivational dude. You got like a killer mindset. Like and obviously that's why you're so successful, is because of that mindset. It's kind of the seed to your success. You know, it's like your groundwork. You know, so let's get a little more into the technicalities. Like let's get more into like specifically. So you went car detailing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Car detailing, pressure washing, and then to real estate. It's just like quick, so what kind of helped you transition like into the real estate?
Where was your first house at? What was the first purchase and how'd it go?
All right, cool. I like it. You see, I'm big on taking the loss. Once I take the loss, that means I need to go back in the lab. I need to look at the information that I have. I need to seek wise counseling, and I need to go back after it. Right. So from the car detailing, I was able to raise enough capital to get the pressure washing machine. So then I got the pressure washing machine. I didn't really have money after that, so I'm like, I better get the washing fast. Like, I better go find some houses.
For whatever I can, when I can.
So I'm knocking on doors. I'm wearing the soles out on my shoes, going to find different houses to wash, kept washing. Then I started learning how to go into different corporations and make them believe, even though I didn't have the stuff in place. Meaning that I went into Providence Hospital, into their management company, and I basically told them, it wasn't a lie. It was kind of a lie. But I basically told them that I had the setup to wash their buildings, and I didn't have the setup. And I was paying attention, you know, to the client. And she was saying, you know, her back was hurting and all these different things. So I would come one week, and then she was like, no. Taught myself rejection before this, so I'm comfortable, So I come back 2 weeks later, same thing. Hey, look, you know, I'm Brandon Maye, Superior Pressure Washing. I want an opportunity to work on y'all contract. I want to clean your sidewalks, clean your buildings. These are some of the pictures that I got for you. So I started getting pictures off Google. She's like, okay, that looks good. You know, she started loosening it up. Came back the next week. I ran into her supervisor. He was here from Florida. I
Right.
got the cue from somebody else that told me he was going to be there.
This a hustle.
So I didn't just come on some coincidence. This time I
Right.
came with the donuts.
Right.
Krispy Kreme boys.
Yeah.
So I came with the Krispy Kreme. I knew he liked Krispy Kreme because in one of his interviews, he talked about Krispy Kreme. So I
Right.
had been researching. I was already ready for it. So for a whole month, I chased that one account. I land that account. I make my first $30,000-$40,000 just off one account. So I was able to take that.
Beautiful.
And now I was like, okay, now we got to get the credit right. So I started to learn how to do credit. I started balancing my own credit. I didn't go to anybody. Nobody had to work with me on the credit. I taught myself how to build credit.
Right.
I taught myself how to position myself with credit. Not only that, I taught myself that one week maybe 600, next week maybe 700. I just need to have the right number when I go after what I want.
Right.
Because they mess that up a lot. They think you got to have 800 credit score all the time. No, when I go to the bank now to do refinances, I just got to have my credit score right. So what do I need to do? So I learned how to like maneuver and play the game.
Right.
And so now I'm raising capital overnight. You asked about the first deal. The first deal was a loss.
Yeah.
The first deal was a loss.
That's what
Yeah, we on the loss again.
I had it. That's why I wanted to know about it because it's always a learning curve with that first time, man. Stepping
Yeah.
up to the plate and swinging on the first ball at 90 miles an hour, you're gonna miss it.
Man, HGTV, bro.
so just-
HGTV kill a lot of people.
Real quick, while-
HGTV
It kill a lot of people.
It's so true. When
Maybe
we were in
somebody
painting-
was smoking some CBD
Yeah,
and they looking at it, they're like, you
when
know
we
what?
were painting, we experienced a lot of HGTV wives and stuff like
Man,
that.
the
That would
HGTV
just-
wives start getting in their husband ears.
Yeah, man.
And they're like, baby, you know what? I got my retirement account.
Right.
So let's go and try to flip a house.
Right.
And you discover, like, man, hold up.
It's a lot.
It's some stuff behind the walls that I didn't think about. And that's what I did. I think I bought a small house over in DIP. It was a little hood house. It was 35 worth 135. So I did all my numbers right because the very important numbers that you have to have is how much it's worth, how much to rehab, and how much it's going to be worth when you finish it.
Right.
So I did all my numbers right, but I made a mistake where I tried to make it a rental house and turn it into a flip. Instead of coming in and saying, hey, we're going to flip this and this is what we're going to stick to. That's two different types of game plans. So you put that tenant in there. Once she knows the game too, she know that she can bounce from house to house because the city got her back. The federal government got her back. She gonna squat on the property. So when she squat down, you can't just evict her. You got to go through the whole eviction
You gotta
process.
go through everything. You're
So
a
I end up
landlord.
losing,
Yes.
month to month on it, and then turning around after losing month to month. I got to pay for the eviction to get everything set up with the attorney, pay the attorney,
lawyers and all
so it's
that,
like,
man.
dang, bro,
Yeah,
I
it's
lost
not worth it.
15, and then once I did that, bro, I just always went back to the drawing board. You know, I was humble enough to say, this was the outcome.
Yeah.
Now let's take this 15K. That was like going to a 15K mastermind. It was cool with me. Let's take this 15K and go back and find the information and knowledge we need. And then I just kept doing it, bro.
Right.
I just kept going.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. You think that it's location?
Location. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Location actually is your exit strategy. So you can turn it into a rental house. You have multiple options.
Right.
Would you
That's the
rather
most
flip or
important
do
part.
rentals? You rather flip?
So flip for me is to gain capital. It's my bank. So I went from being rejected by the bank to forming my own banks. Now I got Maye Capital Investment Group because I learned how to raise capital. I learned how to go into the big meetings and say, hey, this is what we're about to do with your money. This is your return on the money. Right? So in the first couple years of doing real estate, I raised over $2 million by myself. And now we about to this year raise over like $5-7 million. And we're gonna give them the returns that they need on their
Congratulations,
money.
bro. That's
Right?
fucking
So,
awesome. That's
but it
wild.
all started with the seed, bro. But I'd rather flip for the capital, and I started holding stuff so I can have wealth, right? Building up that wealth. And also when you hold stuff, you get depreciation, you get appreciation.
Right.
If you buy right, you get cash flow, you get tax breaks.
Residual
Yeah,
income,
so now when you getting that what is it, capital gains, you're getting the capital gains coming in. Say you net 500,000.
Right.
Now you need something to offset that. But if you buy 10 rental houses that year, you can offset it with the rental houses. Right. Or you can go into a deal. We starting to put money into deals where people got multifamily, where we can just get, the tax breaks on it. So we lowering our tax breaks while making more money. Make more money, lower the tax breaks. We done a Trump in this thing.
What's the furthest location?
Because it's preferred income. The government gives you a lot of tax breaks for doing housing because they need housing for their citizens. It's kind of the same for food. I think they give you have preferable income with food as well for that same reason because they need everyone to be fed.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
If you asked me this in 2012 though, I couldn't give you this information because I haven't traveled the journey yet.
Right.
But the reason most people fail is not that they don't have the ability, not that they don't have the resources or the knowledge, is they don't have the perseverance to stay in it long enough to get everything that they need.
It takes
Because
time.
everything you want everything you want. If you got the vision and you already got the gift, everything you want is on the other side of the pain, on the other side of the hurt nights. I mean, it's been nights, man, where we didn't know where the payroll coming from.
Right.
And it's like, shoot, bro, we started, so we just gotta keep going. Like it's gonna this too shall pass.
Right.
That became my motto.
Just
This
can't get
too shall
emotional when you
pass.
lose. Don't get emotional.
You can't get emotional.
Yeah.
Nip said it best. I don't stress out.
Yeah.
I poke my chest out.
Yeah.
Wait
That's
on
true.
wait on my
Truth in
shoulder and
that,
bring
man.
the best out. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
absolutely
That's
true.
what I'm with.
So are all the houses that you deal with, are they locally in Alabama, or do you deal with anything that's just across the, if you find something in, I don't know, New Jersey that looks good, are you going there? Or
No, we staying local right now.
That's overextending, ain't it? That's doing too much.
That's
huh?
too far.
That's doing too much.
Yeah, it's
right.
doing too
What
much.
is some motivation, like real estate wise? You like Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone? Who are you into for that? Like, how'd you learn to get into that? Like,
Man, that's what's crazy. I don't have nobody like
Right.
none of those figure names.
Right.
I have more like local guys that I
Right.
bounce the idea off. You know, local guys that I can go to. It's like when you pick a bank, you're not going at the Wells Fargo. You're going at the community bank. You're
Right.
going after the small banks because they're going to give you the loan.
Right.
The Wells Fargo, you got to go through all these different chambers.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm Grant good. All these
Yeah.
guys, they got good ideas and stuff. Maybe I'm not to that point yet or something.
Right.
But I just take it for what it's
Well,
worth.
give you 10 years and you probably will be there.
Yeah,
10, 20
yeah.
years, like, you know.
Got a lot going
Yeah,
on.
Keep doing
I'm
what
not
you do.
really interested in them. I want the guy that I can ask a question that can sit at this podcast, shake out my hand. I got those guys.
Right.
You know, I got those guys that's doing. I got a buddy right now. He just sold a company for like $200 million. Yeah, for real. He
Yeah.
sold for like $200 million. He like the richest man in South Carolina.
Damn.
He built a multifamilies all through Carolina.
Man.
So we got the resources.
We ready to sell. If you know
rubbing
anybody with
shoulders.
this.
What y'all selling?
Yeah, we sell a company $200 million. Yeah.
I know, right? Y'all building something special.
Yeah, we
man,
trying to
we're
get
trying
there
to.
for sure. Absolutely. We
I genuinely love to talk shit about business. I genuinely love to, like, learn about business. Like, I view it as a hobby.
Right.
Like, it's more than just, like, I mean, I'm all day, every day entrepreneur. Like, all day, every day. From the moment I wake up, the moment I go to sleep. It's all I'm thinking about. It's all I really care about, you know? Like, outside of my family and, like, you know, my friends and stuff, like, my main bag, my hobby is business, you know? I actually can relate to you in a lot of ways. I was an athlete growing up. I didn't go as far as you did nearly because I liked so much attention in high school. I got kicked out of school, and you know, like after that, I kind of went down a dark path. I was on drugs. You know, I had to go to rehab. I got out. I started a construction company. Kind of similar, man. Real similar kind of story. I haven't gotten to the real estate yet, so I'm definitely looking to learn from you on that, man. And I'm so glad you're here, and so glad you're giving us these gems because. You know, we went from the painting world. We started out painting. I dropped out of high school in 10th grade. Started my painting business when I was like 18, 19. Changed my life. Not instantly, but after a while it did. And then kind of took that to the dispensaries. We got 3 dispensaries now. Doing pretty good, but I want to get to where I'm kind of diversifying my bag, you know.
Right.
Because we're realizing now I've done a few tax delinquent properties. Like I've bought and sold a few of those, and I'm really eager to learn more about the loan process and about that whole thing. You know, my credit's looking pretty good right now. It's like mid 70s, 700s. I mean, but I just don't know what to do with that as far as real estate goes.
The
you know,
true power, man, is not making the bag and having the bag to invest your money. The true power is being able to have the information, the resources, the systems, and the processes to find deals and put deals together. The man that's the real deal is the man with the deal. So meaning that if I got the deal, the money gonna chase me down. I mean, I'm coming to y'all podcast and I'm getting chased down by money. People blowing me up like, B, look, I got 100,000. I need you to place it. Once you learn how to raise capital and put yourself in a good position with people and understand how to put deals together and how to structure those deals, the money is plentiful. My mentor told me that before.
Right.
I didn't believe it until I saw it. Like, hold up, the money
Right,
chasing me down, but the deals, they hard to find.
because that's a fearless approach. Like, okay, like we're gonna go ask this dude for $1 million because we know we're about to profit off this deal, and he's like, of course, why wouldn't I loan my money to
So
you?
you
Because you're about to make me more money.
Yeah, you deal in the world of shares and stuff
Yeah,
like that a lot,
yeah.
right? So you just go with a lot of shares and salaries.
I like
and
to
making
prove
sure.
myself first.
So,
Myself first,
so
and
will
then
you
I
go
do
to
it.
will you go to like someone who like a bank and you'll say, I got this deal set up. We're gonna spend this. We're gonna make this. and that's basically, and you list out kind of that whole process or that whole deal, and then they just, is it based on your credit or is it based on the deal you have and the credit, kind of combined
So
when you go to them?
It's more of a where you see you can save a company money.
Yeah,
and then you
so I'm
offer
not.
them.
So like, get bank out of your mind.
Right.
I know that sounds crazy
Okay,
because
okay,
that's why I
okay.
went to get rejected at.
Okay.
What I learned is the bank was like a second tier or a third tier. The individuals and the people, the private lenders. That's the one.
Other
Yeah.
people's money.
Yeah, other people's money. Right?
That's where the real
So
magic
calling up
happens.
Billy Bob or John Thorne
Yeah.
or whoever it is and taking what you've already done, not talking about what you're gonna do.
Right.
You use what you have in place, resources in your own personal money to build the trust, right? And then you put them in safe deals.
So you're having like a personal relationship with a private investor.
Yeah, private.
And you're saying, hey man, I got this deal. We're going to make this on it. And he's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I deal with people. Even if we're doing rental houses, we may start off. Well, all right, so when we do rental houses or multifamily or something, we want to start off using private money. We're going to secure the property. We're going to get it up and running. We're going to get tenants in. Now we're going to cash flow it for 4 to 6 months, and then we're going to the bank, and then we're doing the long-term loan, which is called the Burr method. You probably seen the Burr method on Google. Just YouTube it, the Burr method. You buy, you rehab. I think it's rent, and then you refi. I think that's the whole strategy. It's like 4 or 5 steps. And you learn how to do that. You use the people money to secure the property and to get it up and running. And then we go to the bank and we're like, oh, this is not something we're going to do. This is something that's being done right now. We have a tenant in place. They're paying X amount of dollars. This is how much the property is worth.
Because my next question was like, why would you have a renter? But it's because of your process.
Yeah,
Like,
my
And
rentals.
he said multifamily. So
Yeah.
if you got to understand, he's talking apartments. He's talking about places that are like
but hold on, just
$1.2 million properties.
Yeah, it's
for a
happening,
lot
right?
of people.
His brain going crazy. Let's slow it up a little bit.
So like elaborate on the renter part, and then so like you have a renter because why? Like because basically it helps with your refinance later on or your deal later on or
Right.
So me like I'm real slow. Like
No,
I'm
you
slow. I'm
good.
slow to learn.
Yeah.
Like every book I read, I've got to read it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you
It's just
good.
the way my mind works. Like
That's how I am too, man. I'm real slow.
But I retain it once I get it.
yeah,
once,
same.
once you get it, you're going to learn
I
that
hold on to
it's
it.
all formula based.
See, I'd rather like actually know than like act like I understand what you mean.
Right.
You know,
Right,
because I feel
right.
like a lot of people make that mistake when they're trying to learn something. They want to act like they know, but they don't actually understand. Like I want to really know what the hell you're saying.
So we'll break it down. So my company is based on, and I use my hands a lot because I'm used to being on the stage. So my company is based on creating its own bank, right? That's more the house flipping. So you hit 20K, 30K, 40K, whatever per deal, right? It's more of a long-term deal. Like it may take me 3 months to pull that off. I may start rehabbing in January, may not close that house until April, right? So you rehab it for 30 days, 45 days, then you got to wait another 30, 45 days after you get the house under contract, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one side of the business. That's capital building. My other side is the wealth side of it. That's what we're really starting to do more. We want to make sure that we're passive and that we got money coming in so we don't put any pressure on the business that's our bank. We want to relieve the pressure by, getting from $1K a month to $2K a month to having $20,000, $30,000 coming in for us to say sleep in the bed if we
Steady,
wanted to.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
steady
okay,
almost.
okay.
And putting management companies in place and people in place so that they run that and keep that going. All right, the way to do that is it's the same exact formula that you're using for flipping. It's just you using the private money, then you go into a long-term loan. But the numbers got to make sense
Okay.
because the bank is going to let you borrow 70 to 85% of what the actual home is worth. So if I'm buying a house for $100,000, I got to be all in at let's say $50,000 or $60,000 because the bank gonna give me $70,000 on it. You can take the extra $10,000 tax-free money, do whatever you want to do with it. But you got to buy so good to have the options. It's all about buying good and breaking down the formulas, and that's something we'll keep talking. We'll break down the formulas, but you put that tenant in place so that tenant can show the rent roll that you need when you go to the bank. So I buy the house, I get it cleaned up, I got a tenant in place.
Right.
All right, this house is renting for $1,200.
Okay.
All right, now the bank is gonna see, okay, he's not talking about something he's gonna do. He's already done it. He's done the work. He's used the private money. He called Ocean up. Ocean, look, I need $70K, bro. He called Ocean up, got the $70K, bought the house, rehabbed it, got a tenant in it. Now he going to the bank. He said, hey, bank, look, I've done all the work. I need you to refinance me back out. So once they refinance me back out, give me the 70K, you gave me, say, 60K. You gave me 60K, I give Ocean his money back.
Okay.
Thank you for the 60K.
That was my next
All
question.
right?
So you go back to the bank in order to pay back the private investor.
Yeah. To go into a long-term loan.
Right. So the deal,
which is a mortgage.
So you and a
Okay.
private investor make a
Okay.
deal through the bank.
The private investor knows nothing about it. You just
Right.
actually tell the private the private investor, hey, look, they're aware,
Right.
the Burr method. Like
Right.
they're aware.
They
You tell
know
them,
what.
hey,
And I
look,
guess, like-
investors are professionals. They
yeah,
know what they're
I'm
doing.
gonna buy this house, and they ask me, hey, what's your exit strategy?
Right.
Either your exit strategy gonna be, I'm gonna flip this house,
Right.
or your exit strategy gonna be, I'm gonna turn this into a rental property.
And that keeps you and your private guy cool, because
Yeah.
then he's like, I already got my money back quick. Like,
They know what time it is. With
Man,
me. They ain't gotta
okay.
guess. They know they're gonna get their money back on
It
the
makes
flip
so much
fast
sense.
and on
The faster the return,
refi.
the better.
because
for
then,
sure.
yeah, because I'm thinking to
But-
myself, if you had a private investor, it wouldn't take you so long to pay him back. But he's cool because he's like,
He making money every first of
oh
the month.
man,
And even
Okay.
then though, if the investment is right, even if it takes a long time, if there's a 2-year investment on $200,000 and you get
He's not
1.2
impatient,
million
he's got-
dollars, I'm just saying, if you looked at me and said, "Give me 200 bands, and in 2 years I'll give you 2 million," I would rather that than somebody giving me 60 bands now. I mean, giving them 200 bands now and then giving me 400,000 in 2 months. I'd rather just wait the 2 years and get the 2 million in, if that's what you were gonna tell me. It's kind of like I don't know, crazy compound interest or something like that. I
Yeah,
would
it is.
imagine.
It is
like,
compound interest.
Right. Why would you take the short and sweet? But then again, if you're good with action and in your mind you could take that 400,000 and turn it into 4 million in that same year because you have a plan, I would say take that.
Yeah.
But I guess as
So
an
how did
investor
you-
who's already got $10 million in the bank, your CPA is telling you, hey, look, to save taxes, you gotta do something with this,
It's-
or they're
it's-
gonna take it anyways.
It's phases to it, bro.
Right. They gonna take your money
I
anyways.
think Meek Mill said the song, it's levels to it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's real levels to this.
Right. It really is.
So I thought, when I first started the entrepreneurship journey, let's just make money. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think about the tax. I didn't think about compound interest. And so what I did is I cut my learning curve. If I'm
Right.
20 years old and I go seek somebody that's 45, how many years from 45 to 20? 25, right?
yeah.
25. You weren't good enough, bro. So 25. So that's 25 years worth of information and knowledge they got on me, right?
Right.
So if I go seek 10 of them, you do the math. You got 10 people, 25. That's a lot of years. So basically what I did is I reverse engineered my success. Basically cut down the learning curve.
Right.
did you call that the bird strategy? Is
The
that what-
burr.
Burr. Burr.
Burr, like Gucci.
Burr.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That was
works.
the strategy. When
That's
you
your
YouTube, you can be like,
How did you
"Damn,
learn about
okay."
that? Like you just
I've heard it. I couldn't articulate
that's
it like
smart
you have.
though.
Bro, it's all about being all right, let me backtrack this thing for you. So I'm gonna give you an analogy.
Good.
All right, so during COVID, they was telling people, hey, don't touch the doorknobs. You touch the doorknob, you may get COVID. All right. Don't sit on the same seat as this person. Like, they telling you that. And if you did it, they'll tell you to isolate yourself.
Right.
All right. It's the same way with success. When you connect with somebody or be in the room with certain people, it's like COVID. It's just gonna spread on you, bro. So I just focused on being in certain rooms and touching certain doorknobs
So
Right.
with certain people so
People.
that I can get the information.
you don't have to
Yes.
say who it is. I'm sure, I don't know, but so when you went to that first private investor, where was your mind at? Were you nervous? Were you what did you learned about the burst strategy, but you went to this investor and you just kind of implemented the strategy and you were just like, screw it, I'm gonna shoot my shot.
Yeah, so I started with hard money. Hard money is actually companies. So they want to charge you 12% with 5% origination fee. I had to go that first to
Okay.
get the portfolio that I needed. So I
Right.
had to pay more for the money. So I didn't
So you had
focus on what
more
I had to
interest
pay.
on that first loan.
Yeah, I didn't focus on what I had to pay. I just thought about the end goal.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the process.
love
The
it. Stepping
process,
stone.
Love it.
this is what I do. I already taught myself how to be rejected.
Right.
I already detailed cars in the dark.
Yep.
I already been out there detailing people cars for 7 hours, putting my heart and soul in it, making $20, $30.
So you're just like tunnel vision on what you want. And
I've
you're
already
you're
taught
like,
myself the skill sets.
Yeah.
You're not
so
scared
going to
of-
ask somebody for money, it was never really nothing for me. I just knew that I had to go through the process
Mm-hmm.
to make you believe. I made men believe when they didn't want to believe.
Right.
Hey, give me this. I'm going to prove myself and I'll be back with your money. Not only will I come back with your money, you're going to make money every first of the month. Not only are you going to make money on every first of the month, you're going to get your money back plus interest.
they're gonna be begging you to come back do more deals.
They're going to tell their friends.
Yeah.
That's where we at now.
That's where you at.
When you go to Dan, you do a
Grassroots.
great job for Dan in Houston. I'm like, Dan, hey, look, I've done a great job for you. I proved myself. I need more capital to continue to expand this company. I want to go from just flipping houses and doing rental houses. We want to build subdivisions. Are you interested?
I love that.
You know, the people that's probably built this building, I know who they are, and I know who built this building, and I also know who built McGuire Park. You know, they getting ready to be partners.
Is it Stratus? Stratus? Is it Stratus?
No, it's more in construction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more in construction. So I hit Grant up, like, and that's the CEO. Like, Grant, look, we wanna raise money to build subdivisions now. They're going off the body of work. A lot of people, just think about that for a second. It didn't just happen in 24. It happened in 2012 when I was detailing cars and nobody was coming to rescue me.
Right.
It happened when I didn't have money and my sister was paying for me to get meals.
Right.
It happened when I wanted to give up on life and commit suicide. It didn't just happen. The success didn't just happen overnight. It happened during the seed process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people not willing to go through the seed process. The seed process don't have an end date to it. It may take 2 years to get the fertilization.
Right.
It may take 3 years to get the water down. You know what I'm saying? The soil may get hardened a little bit. You may get a bad break.
You maybe want to get down and do some push-ups. I'm trying to.
You want the soil may get hardened a little bit, but the person that becomes successful, the billionaires, the millionaires, all those people that become successful and set their family up, you know, their kids up, is the ones that's willing to endure. This is not the stuff. I'm so big on talking about the bottom because the end result is cool and all,
right?
But it's just a byproduct of the person that persevered. I felt every emotion going through this journey. I felt the tears. I felt the suicide demons. I felt the hurt. I felt the pain. I felt the people turn their back. I felt all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just made up my mind that I wasn't going to quit. I wasn't going to give up.
Yeah.
And on the other side, it's that. What does it take? And I just been good with systems and processes now.
Yeah.
You know, it started off just the hustle and the grind.
Now you're real organized.
Yeah. I'm going away from working this to working this. You know, the head is big for a reason. There's something in this brain. So now I'm putting it all together now, like putting the pieces to the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing more of a chess game. You know, sometimes you have to pull out the game a little bit. So I was playing a little bit of like checkers. Then I went to chess and I played a little bit of Monopoly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Monopoly in chess right now. Monopoly is I'm building properties, you know, because I need some more capital coming in every first of the month. I want to go to the mailbox and I need 20 to 30K coming in.
So it's like the rentals is like that's the residual, and then the flips.
Residual.
You're hitting licks on the flips.
Licks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The same way that I saw the dudes do back in the day, the dope game.
Right.
I'm taking what I learned in Pritchard and I'm just using it in a different positive way.
Elon Musk said your average drug dealer knows a lot more about business than your average businessman.
Yeah, they always successful.
You know
what I'm saying? Sometimes it don't end the way it's supposed to end.
Right. So
I just said to myself, look, my cousin them doing this, or this family member doing this, or this dude from the hood doing this. How can I take that and use it positive? So after the injury, after the pain, after all that stuff and sitting in the room writing the book, I was thinking about all this stuff. Who have I seen that was able to move money in the way that I need to move money? And how did they do it? Was it negative or was it positive? Okay, they did it this way. Let me do it this way, get the same results, and I don't got to look over my shoulder.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful, bro.
I'm just playing a different game,
fantastic.
bro. I'm just playing.
It's fantastic.
Like, bro, you have to use what you've seen so long that had success, and then you just tweak it a little bit. So with the speaking, we see who's having success.
Right.
It's cool. We're not going to get impatient. In due season, we should hop into our season. You know, we know that we can have 100 schools a year, but we don't want to move out of season. A lot of people move out of seasons because they get impatient. It's taking too long. Everybody want the Roman noodles, like pop it in, you know what I'm saying, on the break. Let me just hurry up and eat it. Roman noodle success is like $20K a year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Check the check.
Right.
You don't know where your next meal. If you can withstand and go a little bit longer, I promise you, like, your gift is gonna make room for you. When I say make room, I'm talking about 200, 300, 400K a year. They talking about it's a recession getting ready to start, and I'm like, where? We control the pace.
Right.
You know, I don't look to politics or anybody else. I'm controlling the pace. If you tell it's gonna be printed and they print money, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna find a way to get it. Even if we have to shut this down and move to something else, we'll go do whatever we got to do. You know, I'm built for this, bro. I'm just on some different mindset.
Man. What I'm hearing is just don't just replicate, but
Innovate. Be innovative.
Innovate
you.
and
Just
and
replicate,
take
innovate.
risks. Don't be scared to go ask for whatever money you need. Or take out a hard loan. Hell, even if you got a big interest rate, you're seeing the end goal. You're having tunnel vision to what you want, and you're all these other thoughts of fear and all it's for the birds. It's just like.
Do you in real estate? You ever deal with parcel numbers?
No, he ain't
Parcel
doing,
numbers or
tax
anything like that.
delinquent
You don't do tax link with property
Oh,
or something
no.
like that.
No,
Yeah.
I talk about.
So how do you get your properties? Like
Yeah.
how do you go
that's
about?
why I'm trying to segue into that. But I mean, it might be proprietary. I ain't trying to get all your
Yeah.
secrets.
Nah, it's cool. That
You know what I'm saying?
We're actually about to have a mastermind in December. I believe December or January we're having a mastermind, and we're about to give
We're
all
gonna
the
be there
game.
for sure.
Yeah, we're about
We're
to
gonna
give
be
a lot
there.
of game there.
Okay.
So how did I find my deal? So I'm very untraditional in everything I do. Like most people will build a team up, kind of like a wholesaler, and they'll put people in the room and they just go after all these properties all the time. For me, I've been very blessed. God continued to open doors for me. The city knows me. And when I say the city, I mean every individual that follows me on Facebook continue to send me deals every day. I'm looking through 5 to 6 deals per day just by marketing on Facebook and letting them know, hey, look, we'll buy your mom house. Mom got to go to the nursing home. We're going to buy her house.
We'll buy your house
Yeah.
no matter what.
So we buy
foreclosed
off the
or
market
anything.
deals.
So it could be, what did you say? Ugly, foreclosed,
Ugly,
new,
foreclosed,
old.
yeah, all
it
of
don't matter. Just contact me. Because if 100 people contact you, at least 2 of them is going to work out.
Yeah.
And those 2 are going to make you a lick.
Exactly.
And,
You
yeah.
ever seen the signs on the road that say,
Yes.
we buy homes?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, no, that's not me,
Yeah.
but that's people that have bought from.
Right.
So a lot of those people are wholesalers.
Right.
So their job and their assignment in their company is to go find contracts and find deals, put it on the contract, and then sell it to us. They don't actually do the renovations. I do the renovations. Now I wholesale a little bit too, but for the most part, I do the renovation side of it.
So I'm curious, so say when I'm riding through certain neighborhoods or something like that, you see like that old ass house that's
Write
just
the address
sitting
down.
there. It's
Write
just
the
sitting
address.
there.
It's
but
money
it,
sitting there.
But it doesn't. But you know what I'm talking about? Like you look at a house, you go, man, why is that house just sitting there rotting into the ground? There ain't no sign that says it's for sale or nothing like that or something. But you can tell nobody lives in it. Why is it just sitting there?
That's
You
an
know?
off the market deal. It could be passed down and it's inherent property, and they just holding it. And nobody never called them to say, hey, look, we want to buy this. But mom left it for them, and they stay in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And so you hit them up. It may be sitting there. It may be worth $200.
Right.
Pay it off. And they're like, you know what? I'm tired of messing with the grass. I'm tired of the property tax. Give me $30 for it.
If you saw a house that you were interested in on the side of the road and you pulled up, what would be the first way to contact somebody if there's no number on the house?
Have you ever
so
done anything like that, or is it just?
you just pull the tax records. You pull the tax records, then you use this thing called I think it's called skip trace. Skip trace, and then you just go through and they give you like the names that's attached to the house and the phone numbers actually.
Right.
Some guys are just real good with that. I don't have that
Right.
part of my business going. I focus on buying from people that got deals going. The people that's doing that, I focus on buying from them.
Right.
And then I get a lot of stuff off of Facebook. and
you-
then we do the MLS too.
Right.
We
so
get
the,
deals on
the
MLS.
other people that are
Yeah.
we buy ugly houses and do all that, you deal with them too.
I deal with them. Them wholesalers, we buy from wholesalers.
Right. So okay, because they're trying to get off a product. They're moving product.
Right, they're moving the product.
We think of a house.
They the dope boy.
Right. Houses are product. It's a product.
So
right?
when you let me ask you this. So if we're just going
They the
back,
dope boys of houses.
going back to your systems,
Dope boys of houses.
back to your overall system. So, like, when you're planning this out, are you getting real technical with the construction and how much it costs and how much it's going to cost, or is it kind of broad?
I
It's
mean,
kinda
down to the penny.
Yeah.
But-
yeah, it's
Down
bad.
to the.
do you get
penny.
quotes beforehand, or you just know how much it'll cost?
So, I think 3 years ago, we was in the market that the interest rates was like 3% or something like that, 3 or 4%, right after COVID.
Now it's
And
like 7,
The
I
block
think.
was
or something.
hot.
Yeah.
The block was hot,
It was
bro.
now- I was
Meaning
saying
that
not-
you could just walk in
Yeah.
and you can have a house under contract. You can say it's gonna cost me $50K. You ain't gotta have a spreadsheet that say doors and windows and paint and everything. You could just walk in and say it's gonna cost me $50K because you can control the resale value. So now you got to pay attention to the actual numbers. Like I have to go in now, and the flooring's gonna cost this, the paint is gonna cost this, and break it all the way down to almost the penny. That's the systems and processes.
Right, to make the 50K.
So it was like, are you building a hobby? Are you playing business? Or are you actually trying to build a business? So now we got spreadsheets where we're able to keep up with the actual numbers. So we try to track every single
Right.
thing. We don't know what's
Before you
behind the
go in.
walls. Now we may pull a wall out and see that studs are right, and you try to put like an additional 15% on your projected
Just-
rehab.
yeah,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So
Okay.
I got a formula that I use.
Okay.
You ever come up on a gym That just like you thought this was gonna be bad, but you're like, damn, this might be like $2,000 and we out of here.
Yeah, I got like 3 of them right now.
Oh,
3
wow.
gyms. Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
think they
awesome.
I call a gym like 60K profit or more.
Right.
So we got 3 that's gyms.
I got a good question. So
60K
plumbing, electric,
60K.
and roof. If those three things are good, is that
Like,
like
what are
a
you
green
looking
light?
for?
The
Like,
big ticket items.
Right. What is it that's like, man, damn, this would be perfect, but there's a hole in the roof.
Yeah.
And it's like
So-
you're just not gonna deal with that because it's
Yeah.
gonna be another $45,000, and then you're just looking at it and you're like, is it something like that? You know, where it's like, damn, half the house is perfect, the other half is burned. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? One of those type of ordeals. Do you go, there's enough profit here, I think I can work with this, or you just go, it's not that I can't do it, it's too much time, I'll be too much resources tied up in it, and it's just not going to be worth it in the long run.
We run into all of it.
Right.
You learn how to be, as much as I'm in beast mode, I still know how to be patient.
Right.
Samurai
shit.
It didn't start off like this, but I wanted to go from being a machine gun, jumping at everything,
Right.
to being more of a sniper. If I can sniper 10 deals and make 60K, what's the math on it? 60 times 10. I made 600,000.
Yes, sir.
Opposed to having to do 30 deals at 5,000. Do the
Right.
math on it.
Right.
That took me longer
Right.
to do. So now I want to be very quick to say no.
Right.
And real slow to say yes.
Okay.
I want my numbers to speak to me. The numbers don't lie. I thought the numbers was lying until I got to the closing table a couple
Right.
times and took a couple L's.
Right.
No, the numbers don't lie. What you saw is what you saw.
Right.
But you was trying to be naive and act like you didn't see what you saw. Meaning that if you saw the paint was going to be 5,000, or you saw the roof was going to be 40,000, or you saw whatever you saw, those was the numbers. So now I'm letting the numbers talk to me. So I go to sleep at night, numbers may be in my head just talking to me.
Right.
I'm like, all right, numbers, I hear you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
Like
just
me
wake
and
up like-
numbers talk. We have a good relationship.
I had a conversation with 300,000 last night, and I think it's a go. I think it's a go. You know, like
He had a great personality.
Right, 300,000 was telling me it was talking to 400,000, and it sounds like we're gonna get along just fine.
I know
you
that sounds crazy, but yeah,
It
man,
makes
you
sense.
learn to have.
It
you
makes
learn that
sense.
the numbers don't lie. That's the one thing in real estate that's not gonna lie.
Right.
You can lie to yourself, or you can lie to Facebook, you can lie to Instagram, you can lie to all these people, and they're gonna like the comment, and they're gonna comment, but they don't know that when you get to the closing table, you taking
Right.
a 40K loss. You know, you can go in there with all the jewelry you want to, but when you get back home, that payroll's still gonna be due.
If you got let's go to that 19-year-old kid in Pritchard. His grandma or his grandparents just passed away. He inherited the house. He's sitting there. He's got $10,000 that he got from him. What would be his next move? And in like a real estate perspective, what would he do with not only the house that he has inherited? What would be his best move to make off of it? Like, because from what I'm hearing, you buy from people whose motto or
About situations.
right. But the people you buy from, sounds like their motto is quantity over quality. And then you come in and get the quality over the quantity. You know, it sounds like you like to get stuff that you know you're going to get a return on. It sounds like they just buy a lot of things, and I don't know if they're okay with just taking L's like that, because so many houses seem like it just, how many do they own? You know,
Yeah.
like how can you own 1,000 houses? But the depreciation and all that too.
They don't own them.
So so they just got the deed? They don't
Yeah,
have the title?
they just got the house under contract.
They own the contract to the house.
Yeah.
So they're the
To the
the dealer.
Yeah,
That's where the
they
deal.
the dealer.
Right.
They the from where I'm from, they the dope boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got the dope boy and they got to move to work.
Right.
Okay.
I'm here to receive the work.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So if I had that 10,000, I'm that 19-year-old boy, and I come to you.
He
Like,
the dealer.
Right. Okay. Right.
He the dealer.
Right.
He got the product.
I got the house.
Yeah, he
and
got
I
the
say, I
product.
want to get off of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get rid of this house. It isn't worth very much. It's got to be fixed up. It's got all these issues. I can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like get fucked, and I'm not really the most business-wise man. What would be my best move? You know, should he take that 10,000, invest it into that house, and do the best he can to fix it up to sell it, or should he just let that thing go and then take his 10,000 and go try to get his own house and start his flipping process?
I have bought that deal a
Right.
lot
Should
of
he try to
times,
flip
too.
his house? Is what I'm saying. Should he flip that house he has with his 10,000, or should he take
Yeah.
his 10,000 and put it into the house and then flip it?
I could be the recipient on both sides. I can either be the guy that's buying from a wholesaler,
Yeah.
or I could be the one that the family call up directly.
Right.
Just the difference between me is this wholesaler is going to sell the contract. I'm coming to flip.
Right.
That's my number one projective.
Yep.
My goal is to flip.
And
Now
you
I
get-
will wholesale, but
Right.
my goal is to flip. So if let's just say a young kid named John.
Right.
All right. John mom passed away. Mm-hmm. She passed away in 2015. John stays in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
This house is worth $125,000. He owes nothing on it because his mom paid it off. She left
Right.
him in a good position. So say John calls me up, or I'm driving through a neighborhood. I write down the information. I backtrack, figure out he owns this house. His mom left it to him. I call up John. Hey man, what's up? I was riding through the neighborhood. I saw that you own this property. This is two ways this can go. Either I can get a call from a wholesaler that's already been in the neighborhood, and then they got it under contract with John, or I can be the guy that's driving through the neighborhood, and I end up getting the contract with John.
Right.
So John, look, I see you got this house. Your mom left it to you because I've looked at the tax.
Right. And when you say contract, are you guaranteeing for him that you can sell that house? Or are you buying the house from him, and do you get the deed and the title to the house and completely own the house?
It just depends on what role I want to play. If I'm riding through a neighborhood and the house is worth $125,000 and I call John, I can wholesale that deal.
Right.
If I'm the one who get it first, I can flip that deal, or I can turn it into a rental house. Right? The purchase agreement just say that John is going to sell me this house for $25. Now I can say, okay, I got this house on the contract for $25. It's worth $125. I can turn around and flip this house and say I need $40,000 in it. I got $40,000 in it. Now I'm all in at $65. Turn around and flip the property.
And they doing this with all houses.
Yeah, this happens
even
all the
mansions,
time.
even like a top floor. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I got one right now on the contract on government for $225. It's gonna sell for $450.
Damn.
Yeah.
You got it for $225?
Yeah, $225. So I currently have 6 renovations going on, 6 flips. And then I have like 6 or 7 that's sitting on the board that's ready to be bought. And so once I get them on the board, I'm going to raise the capital. 9 times out of 10, when I go after the deal, I don't got the money.
Right.
So let's get
I don't know where the money coming from.
You don't know. Oh, but you just know you're gonna get it.
Oh, I'm gonna get the money.
Oh,
so
yeah.
for that
Who
deal,
you calling? Like, what do? You pull your phone out and do you call somebody specifically, like an investor? You be like, hey, and then he says, no, not right now. You just hang up, call another one.
I got tiers.
Yeah.
I got first tier.
And then
I know he
people.
got the money. I got second tier. I know he got the money.
Right.
Like I got tiers, and then I got my bottom.
Right.
It may cost me a little bit more to get this money, but I can tap into this money at all times. This is endless amount of capital. Like I got a call the other day, hey B, we've been following you, been watching you do your thing. Like we want to be a part of what you got going on. It didn't start that way, you know what I'm saying? It started at the bottom.
Right.
But we want to be a part of what you have going on. We have endless amounts of capital, and this is our rates. And we won't even take you through some of the process that other people go through. We'll literally put you in position.
Right.
So you just know what you got, and then you play it off there. You play the game off there.
So let me ask you this. So for that last deal you were talking about, $225 to $450, how are you getting that much return on investment? Are you putting a specific amount of work in? Like maybe you're putting in a granite countertop, or is it stuff like that, or how are you flipping it for so much more, basically?
So when I first started off, I was handling like all the renovations part of it, like how the walls gonna look, how the cabinets gonna look. I do that still in like the $200,000 houses, because we kind of keep the basis. Like we kind of run the deal hard and type of thing. It's a reason why they all over the place building those houses. So we backtrack and we figure out what they're using, carpet, flooring, all those things.
Right.
They're making money, right? It's a reason why they're still going. But now when we get into like big deals that's gonna sell for like $450, that's more of the historic homes. So you gotta reach out to certain people. Then you have a meeting of the masterminds. Basically, you bring all your subcontractors to one location plus that designer, and then we basically have a meeting. We bring the Krispy Kreme donuts again and the coffee for everybody.
Okay.
Now we're walking through it based on this design. How much it's gonna cost you? How much it's gonna cost you? I just got to this point, bro, because I was just walking in just like $50K. And then, possibly making money, may not be making money. Now it's like, hey, you want to rock with me? You're an HVAC company, you're a roofer. Be here at this time. We're going to be discussing this. And then when I leave, I want to know my number to the penny.
Yeah.
Because I don't flip for fun no more. I got a charitable donation company. I got a nonprofit organization. We can do that with that. But this right here, I got to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
I get you. So you're knowing your numbers down to a T before you get into it, and your contractors, I'm assuming you probably work with a lot of the same guys over and over, so you can trust them. If they say they're going to be there from the 1st to the 15th and they're going to be done on the 15th, like they're going to be done on the 15th and the next contractor can start or whatever. Do you have a lot of contractors in there at once, or?
Yeah, so I think the beauty of it, man, is my guys allow me to move them around. They allow me to make them a puppet. Just be real.
Right.
Like sometimes I may have 3 trades in one house, but I know those 3 trades go together.
Yeah.
I know I can have a carpenter in there. I know I can have the flooring guy. I know I can have that because while he laying the flooring, he can be doing the carpentry work.
Right.
I can have lights going up in the air. So I can have those 3 trades. I know who works together, and I don't put the painters with the punch people. You know what I'm saying?
God,
Like I know who work
man.
together. It's the same team, same guys over and over and over. Some of them, they can keep up with the pace. Some of them, they they died of their injuries.
Yeah.
We had to get them away, and then we get to somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Man,
my guys, they really embody my spirit. They embody the way that I like to operate, fast paced, in and out.
Right.
We
So-
can laugh and play, eat crawfish later.
Is it on a net 30? You pay upon completion, or is
I'm
it?
actually starting to bring that in with certain trades,
Right.
Because we push so much out at the
Right.
beginning.
It has to. I would imagine, like, man, how can that's a lot of capital to have to
It's a
pay
lot of
up
capital.
front, and especially on something that's like. So I guess you have to have a proper team that understands what's happening.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what's
we've been making sure that everybody get paid weekly,
Right.
But now we're starting to get to more of a structure, net 15, net
Right.
30, because it allows us to be able to sustain a little bit more.
Right.
It don't feel good, going to sleep with 500,000 out at all times. That don't feel
Right.
great.
Yeah, I understand.
Would you ever go back to hard money, or do you all private investor now? Because you got the connections now.
So if I got a sweet deal that I'm about to make 60K on, I got to get the money to make the money. It take money to make money. I don't care how much it costs.
Use your own money?
I may use it.
You ever use your own money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
lot tied
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And even at that point, you're like, well, mine's tied up. Let me call up, you know what I'm saying, Scrooge McDuck.
We may call up. We got some people that may have 10, 15, 20K. They get them return on their money and let them know when the deal closes, you get your money back.
Man, I'm telling
But
you.
they're making their money. It's the bank. The same place that rejected me is now the same concepts and model that I'm using to build capital and get to the next level.
Man, this is an excellent amount of information that you brought to the table
Yeah, for real.
today. It's just I can't lie. I feel empowered and inspired after talking
I feel
to
super
you.
empowered, inspired, man.
This
Like,
is-
I don't know. Like I said, I want to do some push-ups right now. I got to
know.
better myself today.
We're
like-
definitely going to have a part 2 on this and get back into some more detailed
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're going to grab a dinner and talk about what we going to do on the next one, because it sounds like we barely even scrape the surface of everything.
Let's say I
that
can
we
sit here
do,
and
you know
I
what
could
I'm
talk to you for hours about the specific process of your, because that's incredible, man. Those are big numbers you're talking.
I
you know?
mean-
especially a kid from 15 people in a 2-bedroom for Pritchard, man.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, and then taking
You're
it to
doing it, man.
the
That's
next
awesome.
level, and like I said, like a certified serial trailblazer. You know what I'm saying? Like, no quit in them, got the dog in them, as they say. Like just going to get it done. And we really do respect that, and we appreciate you swinging by today and dropping some gems on us and giving us a little bit of insight on what goes on in the real estate world, because I feel like we did ask some really good questions about some.
This is that bag talk. You know I'm talking to Clark. This is that buy everything that you want when you up at St. Laurent. Yeah, man, I gotta go get it. Me, man, I gotta go get it. Swear that I gotta go get it. I just want hundreds and